So the microbial world is a world that exists, on your eyeballs, in your gut, up your nose, they're everywhere. They're in the soil, on the treetops, they're even on the great ice shelves. So the modern world is not a great place to be a meta-organism. Human actions are disrupting our ancient friendships with microbes by wiping out biodiversity, taking too many antibiotics and incomplete prescriptions, eating overly processed and nutrient-poor foods. By degrading our soils, we're wiping out our old friends. And as we all know from the last couple of years, in some cases we're creating new enemies. But our old friends are us. We're creating a world where the microbes that love and protect us are dying out, and those that would harm us are thriving. We're seeing an explosion of non-communicable diseases related to losses of our old friends. And this is especially true in urban centres. Microbes are everywhere and involved in every biogeochemical process that you can think of, and also the ones that you can't think of. You're an ecosystem within an ecosystem. Microbes are a large part of who we are and how we function. And microbes are the glue that webs the biosphere together. Healthy soil, food, and constituents is a healthy environment. And urbanisation leads to many microbe-related public health issues. So what's the remedy? So a few years ago, some colleagues and I published the microbiome rewilding hypothesis. And that is that urban biodiversity will provide a human health benefit via microbiome rewilding. So what is that? That is creating microbially diverse urban habitat to increase human exposure to microbial diversity, to our old friends. And how do we do that? With ecological restoration. Let's talk quickly about this one that we did with Treenet and the City of Unley earlier this year at Haywood Park. Sort of the key question here is, within this one park with all these different vegetation communities, where they've got turf grass areas, they've got areas just with trees and leaf litter, and then they've got all these biodiverse companion plantings, all with native companion plantings around some of the very large, very mature trees, with the idea of improving tree health. So the key thing is, how has increasing the vegetation diversity of this one park increased the beta diversity, or the spread of microbes across the park? In the companion planting areas, we saw a slight increase in proteobacteria, good for plants, good for people, and increases in firmicutes, sometimes good for plants, sometimes bad, sometimes good for people, sometimes bad, depends on the context. The companion plantings were also strongly associated with organic carbon and effective cation exchange capacity in the soil. A colleague of mine, Craig Liddicoat, a few years ago did a study where he looked at the microbial communities and found that in every local government area of Australia, and found that microbial communities associated with positive health outcomes, so lower levels of pathogens in the soil and also lower levels of respiratory illness in the human population, was also associated with higher effective cation exchange capacity. So if your cation exchange capacity is higher, then you've got a healthier environment. So really the takeaways for today: diverse plantings can help restore urban soil microbial diversity. Time spent amongst such plantings influences the human microbiome, and exposure to microbially rich soil can improve immune markers.